attached because you put so much into
Or you're protecting yourself.
Yeah, you put so much into a character, and you know you don't want to get
Heartbroken.
So, but it's been this. I'm not sure how it's been for you, but for me, it's been this bizarre thing because I've been on this other job and we've been filming in the countryside, but oftentimes I have zero connection. So, you're like you see it somewhere in the morning on your social media, or whatever, and you go and you film the whole day, and you get back on your phone, you're like, what the frick happened? But
No,
how you felt with all the love, because obviously you've had like incredible hits before, like Descendants and stuff like that, but
this is different. Yes, Descendants definitely was a phenomenon and it changed my life, but I don't know, Nick, what has happened this last week, and it's pretty extraordinary. It's really, really, really extraordinary. Like everything that's happening, not only with the movie, #1 now in 80 countries, 7 days straight. The soundtrack is #1 in the world. The album is #2, second only to Beyonce, which I can't even like wrap my head around that fact. Come Back Home is one of the most viral songs in the world, as are the other songs on the soundtrack. It's just, I don't think I've slept since Friday, because I'm also on your side of the world now, so I'm working LA hours, so like I'm up every day till 6 a.m. getting all this incredible news, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It's like, it's remarkable. It's truly, but like you say, you never know what's going to happen. And I too, and even though I would text you like, Nick, by the way, I'm hearing all these things from press, and you were like, yeah, but I'm going to keep it at arm's length. And I was like, I'm just telling you, I don't think they would be telling me these things. And one hopes, but you just never know.
Yeah, I think you've definitely been like a like guiding factor in all this, because like I guess in some ways like you've felt, like you say, it's slightly different, but you felt this like fever before, whereas for me, overwhelming and so new. So I'm like trying to deal with it in the best way possible. What how have you felt that like some people have liked a particular song over another one? Do you feel like there's a song that you connect with over the other ones?
So it seems like people have connected most with Come Back Home, which is amazing. And I think secondly is I Didn't Know. But I know that your favorite is neither of those. Tell us your favorite.
My favorite is I Hate the Way, or Hate It. I just think it's cool. It's like a rock song, really. It's just such a like. It's got like pace to it. It's aggressive. Yeah, that's the one that I mean, I like all of them. Underrated, Blue Side of the Sky. It's a bop.
Funny.
It's a bop.
I know people are. It's a bop. It's a bop. My heart is a bit more towards like Come Back Home, I Didn't Know, Hate the Way. Also, I'm the piano version of Hate the Way. But maybe you guys didn't know this, but Mr. Galitzine here, he was very generous when we were shooting, and even though he wasn't in these scenes when Cassie was performing, he would come to set and he would be my eyeline. I'm by no means a method actor, but I really was really deeply connected to Cassie, and I found it much easier to like get emotional and to feel the music in the scene when I would sing to him. So he was like serenaded for half the film, just off camera.
Yeah, what was more helpful? Was it the eyeline at the Hollywood Bowl, or you in your bedroom with me
on the floor
under like 3 cameramen just like lying on the floor, and you're like playing on the keyboard?
Yeah.
I'm like, in my head I was like, this has got to be distracting. There's no way this is useful. There's no way this is useful at all.
It was. It really was. It really was. I would have told you if it wasn't. It was. I mean, it was quite funny. They were like, yeah, don't worry, I'll just lay on the floor for her. And it was nice because I didn't get to sing to just a black screen, you know, like I was actually singing to you.
Yeah, that's like the hard thing about a lot of acting is you're oftentimes in these situations where you're asked to emote something, but not given any of the like human tools that we usually use to emotional beings. But Carson, how are we doing this? Do we look at what these people are?
So I, being the nerd that I am, I wrote down 10 questions. I'm at a hotel, so I had to resort to hotel paper and pen.
Okay.
So I think it might be easier because it's going to be hard to read the ones that are coming in here. So, Galitzine, Carson, Galitzine, what is one thing that you each learned from your character?
Oof. What do you mean, like learned about?
I think that's something that you took away from Luke.
Oh, okay. Do you want to take this first?
Yeah. And I think you knew about this, but before I went into this movie, I was so scared. Like I was so terrified of not being able to do it. I was putting an immense amount of pressure on myself to tell Cassie's story as honestly and vulnerably as it needed to be told. Writing the soundtrack, producing it, I was terrified. And then in becoming Cassie, and she's just such a badass and so fearless and so brave, she reminded me of the little girl inside of me who was fearless too. And I'll always thank her for that.
That's a good one. It's really good. Yeah, it's hard. It's because I think inevitably with a lot of characters you put like some things in of yourself.
Correct.
I think one thing I maybe not necessarily learned, but I'm not actually getting emotional here. I'm choking on my.
Don't lie. He's getting emotional.
It's just so hard.
It's too much. It's so much.
No. One thing I really feel like I appreciate about Luke is the arc that he kind of went on throughout the movie, and I think like we meet him in a place where he's very afraid, and you know, a lot of his beliefs have kind of been influenced by his upbringing and the situations that he's in, and he meets a very fierce adversary in Cassie, who's very much, I think, a force of education, and I think it like affects him as, for one, as a Marine, like how he goes over there, how he deploys, you know, how he is when he comes back, the growth they kind of have just having to be in the sort of close proximity of each other, and I think, you know, constantly reanalyzing our beliefs and making sure that they are the right ones, I think is something that we can all adopt to kind of reach a, I don't know, a sense of growth.
Good one.
Thank you. I wish you could like send me these questions so that I could interview you as well.
Oh, okay. This isn't gonna work. Because if I text you, I'm going to exit the chat. Okay, I'll just whisper it to you, and then you ask it to me. Okay. What surprised you the most about working with each other?
So, this is the question I have for you.
Yeah.
What do you feel, what do you feel surprised you most about working with me?
Wow, honestly, what an unexpected question. Let me think about that. What surprised me the most? To me, what was constantly so surprising, and I guess is what the world has seen in our relationship with Cassie and Luke, is just how real it always felt, which is cool to be able to be so connected to a story and to people that in certain moments it felt like you weren't acting. I think that's what surprised me at times. What about you?
Being very present. Yeah, I'd say, you know, like it's interesting. I obviously knew you had done like a lot of music. I knew you'd done obviously your kind of descendants in Disney and stuff like that. And I think that's, you know, very associated with a broader style of acting that I think is just very, very, very different. And I think I was just really shocked by how nuanced you were as an actor, and you really you took it to a place of like real humanity and like and a presence and an honesty that I think was yeah, it's funny because you don't know like what your scene partner is going to be like a lot of the time. Yeah.
I mean, I would say the same. I feel like we were, I don't know. I learned a lot from you as we were doing this as well.
Appreciate that.
Oh, you already answered this. What's your favorite song that I sing? Oh, this is a good one. What was your favorite Cassie outfit? I think I know the answer.
God, so many bangers. I mean the concert, the leaving the concert outfit is always, it's always,
In the leather pants.
yeah. I mean, it's just it's a strong look.
Strong look, yes, definitely a strong look.
There's so many good ones. Did you have a favorite military one of mine? Because
Yeah, I do actually.
okay.
Well, first of all, I always preferred Luke in his military outfits. I thought that was I love those. I don't know. There was something about the dress blues, like when we got married. That was a good one.
Those are, yeah. It's funny because I think like costume is such a big thing for me as an actor.
Yeah.
Like the uniform. I mean, your posture suddenly goes whoop. Like you
I
feel
remember.
like, I don't know. It's an amazing feeling to wear.
Yeah. I mean, even when we wrapped the movie, I was like, oh God, such a different person than the person that I was with for the last couple of months. Like everything about Luke is so different. Okay, let's maybe ask one last one. And this is for both of us. And it's, what is your funniest moment on set?
God, we had, honestly, like we had such a laugh on this film. I mean, I think probably our funniest moment is the same thing.
Yeah.
That was so, for me, I had a very difficult emotional time, like being in that whole hospital, because it was like, people don't know this, but because the scenes often they get condensed, you know, in order to make your runtime or whatever. But we filmed this scenes in the hospital
For a week straight almost, yeah.
and there was a time where there was a scene where I literally stayed in the hospital bed for about 5 or 6 hours and then be able to get out of it because of all the prosthetics and everything, and lots of crying and everything. Was super emotional. And then I can't remember if it was the same day or the next day, but almost because it was like just so emotional. There was this really simple scene. It's really
like our simplest scene of the whole movie. I think we each had 2 lines.
Can't get more simple. Really, is like
no
performance of Sophia wheeling down a hallway in this wheelchair. We had about like a 50 feet run up or something.
It was a long run up.
When I tell you this woman could not keep this wheelchair in a straight line, she drilled me
into the wall.
My supposedly scarred and mottled legs, doors, walls, and then of course she had her high heels on. But
I was gonna say, clarify that I was in stilettos in the scene.
And pencil skirt, which I'm sure, yeah, it's like penguin walking. I'm sure it's difficult.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm sure you can tell them the sort of next level of that though, which was even more difficult. It also involved the wheelchair.
I'm honestly so shocked when I watched the edit of that scene come together. I was like, oh, because I don't think I delivered a single line without bursting into laughter.
Yeah, we would like up at our marks and just be like, like Liz was like, no, we need to shoot a movie, and we were.
But that was, from what I recall, really our only day and only scene that we could be like that, because everything else was so. Oh, and the other thing, but it wasn't really a scene, but it's just pretty rebellious of me, because you know I'm not much of a rebel. But remember when we were at Long Beach in Cassie's apartment? It was this really cool apartment in this corner in Long Beach that overlooked the ocean, and there was a room that was like our holding area in between takes, in between setups, and the sunsets were so gorgeous there, and I was like, Nick, I really want to go see the sunset. So we climbed out this little window, and we didn't think we were doing anything wrong. We were like on a roof, like just watching the sunset, taking some photos, and then all of a sudden I hear like a walkie-talkie and like yelling and shouting, and we're getting like, everyone from set was like, get off the roof, like get her off the roof.
Like 100 feet away across the road was like, no, get off. Yeah, yeah, I guess we could have done some serious damage to the movie. Couldn't afford that out if we got injured,
but yeah, but overall, I mean, as you guys can tell, we had the most incredible time, and I'm getting texts from our our producer Lisa right now. She's like, tell everyone to watch the movie. So Nick, in 3, 2, 1, let's say it together. Let's say, watch Purple Hearts this weekend. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Watch Purple Hearts this weekend.
Wow. So.
And oh, I forgot to say, and Nick, I should probably send this to you, but we just dropped a music video for Come Back Home today. The full performance at Oceanside, where you can see me